So today class, we will discuss the important topic called wave propagation. What is meant by this wave propagation? What is meant by this wave propagation? For example, so here what is meant by this wave propagation? Let us consider this is my earth surface. This is my earth surface. Okay. So this is my transmitting antenna. Let us consider this is my receiving antenna. Okay. So this is transmitting antenna and this is receiving antenna. Okay. So you are transmitting different signals from the transmitting antenna and that signals are getting received by receiving antenna. Okay. So you are transmitting 1 kilohertz signal. You are transmitting 1 megahertz signal. You are transmitting 1 gigahertz signal. Okay. Now my question is, will all the signals will move from the above at the surface from the same distance and reaches to the receiver? The answer is no. Some signals will move from transmitter to receiver very nearer to the earth surface. Some signals a little bit height from the earth surface. Some signals very far away from the earth surface and reaches to the receiver. Okay, so no doubt clearly that you are transmitting different number of signals. Okay, for example, for one application, I am transmitting 1 kilo signal. For another application, I am transmitting 1 megahertz signal. For another application, I am transmitting 1 gigahertz signal. So from this explanation, it is clear that all the signals that are emitting from transmitting signal, that is either 1 kilohertz signal or 1 megahertz signal or 1 gigahertz signal will reach to the receiver moving in the free space different heights above the earth surface. Different heights above the earth surface. One signal may go in this height. Another signal may reach from transmitter to receiver in this height. Another signal may go to the earth and reaches to the receiver far above from the height surface. Okay. So based on this signals, there are three modes of propagation. There are three modes of wave propagation. There are three modes of wave propagation. There are three modes of wave propagations. The first one is called as ground wave propagation. Ground wave. It is also called as surface wave propagation. It is also called as surface wave propagation. Surface wave propagation. And the second one is ionospheric wave propagation. Ionospheric wave propagation, or it is also called as sky wave propagation, or it is also called as sky wave propagation. And coming to the third one is tropospheric wave propagation. Tropospheric wave propagation or space wave propagation. Space wave propagation. Sometimes it is also called as LOS. LOS means line of sight. Okay. So what is the difference between these three modes of propagation? What is the difference between this three mode of propagation? Okay. So by using ground wave propagation or surface wave propagation, by using ground wave or surface wave propagation, I can transmit any frequency signal less than 2 megahertz. Means if I want to transmit any signals less than 2 megahertz signal, I want to go for ground wave or surface wave propagation. Similarly, if I want to transmit any signal in between 2 megahertz signal to 30 megahertz signal, 2 megahertz signal to 30 megahertz signal, then I want to go for ionospheric wave propagation or it is also called as sky wave propagation. Next, coming to the third category of propagation, any signal greater than 30 megahertz. Any signal greater than 30 megahertz, I want to transmit using tropospheric or space wave propagation. So total how many modes of propagations are there? There are three modes of propagations. The first one is ground wave or surface wave propagation, whose frequency, if the frequency of the signal is less than 2 megahertz, I want to prefer ground wave or surface wave propagation. Second type, if the frequency of the signal what you are supposed to transmit from transmitter to receiver, if it is in between 2 megahertz to 30 megahertz, then I want to go for ionospheric or skywave propagation. And the third one is if my frequency signal is greater than 30 megahertz, okay, then I will prefer to transmit by using tropospheric wave or space wave propagation. Okay, so these are the three modes of propagations. Under doubt you may get. So what is the how much height above the signal the ground wave may transmit above the earth surface? Similarly, if this is my earth surface, how much height the signal will receive or transmit in ionospheric wave propagation, in tropospheric wave propagation. Okay, let us draw the diagram. Which indicates the height above the earth surface. Okay, so this is the, let us consider this is the first my earth surface. This is my earth surface. Consider this is my earth surface. This is my earth surface. Let us consider this is transmitting antenna. And this is my receiving end. Okay, this is my receiving end. Okay, now let us come discuss the first one. What is the first one? First one is earth ground wave propagation. Ground wave propagation means, so here all the signals whose frequency is less than whose frequency is less than 2 megahertz, whose frequency is less than 2 megahertz, that will follow through this ground wave propagation, that will follow through this ground wave, which follows the curvature of the earth surface, which follows the curvature, simply the curvature of the earth surface, that is follows the curvature of the earth surface, and the signal will reach from transmitting antenna to receiver like this. So let us consider this is A. What is this A? Mode A is, what is this mode A? Mode A is ground wave propagation. Ground wave propagation. This is very nearer to the earth surface, and any signal less than 2 megahertz signal, any signal less than 2 megahertz signal, then I can transmit from transmitter to receiver using ground wave, which follows the curvature of the earth surface, very nearer to the earth surface, very nearer to the earth surface. Okay, so there are different layers in atmosphere. Okay, consider for example, this is troposphere layer. This is troposphere layer. And this is ionosphere layer. This is my ionosphere layer. This is ionosphere layer. Ionosphere layer. And this is my troposphere layer. Okay, so up to here, this is tropospheric layer. That is, let us consider the distance from this earth surface is 16 kilometers. 16 kilometers. And the ionosphere layer is from the earth surface, it extends from 50 kilometers to 400 kilometers. 50 kilometers to 400 kilometers. So this entire region, this is my ionosphere. Okay, and this is my troposphere. Okay, and this is my troposphere. So if any signal if any frequency signal that you want to transmit in between 2 megahertz to 2 megahertz to 30 megahertz, 30 megahertz, I want to go for ionospheric wave propagation. So see here, this is my transmitting antenna. It enters into the ionosphere. enters into the atmosphere and return back and bend back and come to the ionosphere. So what is the height where the ionosphere exists? The ionosphere exists from 50 kilometers to 400 kilometers above the Earth surface. So the signal compulsorily it will goes from the above the Earth surface to 50 kilometers to 40 kilometers and return back. Okay, so I am calling this as B. I am calling this as B. What is this B? B indicates, what is this B? B indicates sky wave or ionospheric wave propagation. Sky wave or ionospheric wave propagation. Ionospheric wave propagation. So by using this, I can transmit any signals between 2 megahertz to 30 megahertz. Okay, so what is the height above the Earth's surface where the ionospheric wave propagation occurs? In between 50 kilometers to 40 kilometers. 50 kilometers to 40 kilometers. Okay, so this is B, which is nothing but sky wave or ionospheric wave propagation. Sky wave or ionospheric wave propagation. Okay, now let us come to the third case. What is the third case? The third case is space wave propagation or any frequency signal greater than 30 megahertz. Any frequency signal greater than 30 megahertz signal. Okay, that will be transmitted. That will be transmitted using that will be transmitted using. Okay, so see here, this is my transmitting antenna. This is my receiving antenna. So see here, this is, let us consider this is C. Okay, what is this C indicates? C indicates tropospheric or space wave. There is another way also. The signal will comes at the surface and touches and goes to the receiver. The reflection, it will get reflected and goes to the earth surface. I am calling it as C1, C1. Okay, C and C1. C and C1. Okay, so what is this C and C1 indicates? C and C1 indicates space or tropospheric. Okay, so this first C is C, we call it as line of sight also. Call it as LOS, and this is also called it as space wave or tropospheric wave propagation. So by using this, I can transmit any signal greater than 30 megahertz. Any signal that is greater than 30 megahertz. Any signal that is greater than 30 megahertz. Okay, so this is how different signals will be transmitted from the earth surface, transmitting antenna to the receiving antenna, different from different heights. Okay, let us consider what is the range of the troposphere. Means any frequency signal greater than 30 megahertz, they may go above the earth surface from above the earth surface up to 16 kilometers. It is extended up to 16 kilometers. Any frequency signal between 2 megahertz to 30 megahertz. Okay, so at what height they will move? They will move from 50 kilometers to 400 kilometers. 50 kilometers to 400 kilometers. So this is how different signals will move from transmitting antenna to receiving antenna using three modes. What are the three modes? The first one is ground wave, or it is also called as ground wave, or it is also called a surface wave, which follows the curvature of the surface. Okay, so this A indicates the ground wave or surface wave propagation, which follows the curvature of the earth surface. The second one is sky wave or ionospheric wave propagation. By using this propagation, I can transmit any signal in between 2 megahertz to 30 megahertz. 2 megahertz to 30 megahertz. Okay, 2 megahertz to 30 megahertz. At what height it will transmit? it transmit in the ionospheric layer. The range, the layer above the Earth surface is 50 kilometers to 400. And the third type of mode of propagation is space wave or tropospheric or line of sight, whose frequency of the signal is greater than 30 megahertz. Okay, I will transmit the height above the surface is up to 16 kilometers. Okay, so these are the three modes of propagation. So the three modes of propagation.